I know the temptation is always there, especially to beginners in this trade to overstock. Whenever they hear Farmer A made a huge profit from the last batch of bears that he raised, don't fall into this trap. Raising few bears as little as 50, as little as 100, you can make a very good profit from that number if you stock your bears rightly. In this video, I'll be showing you how to avoid overstocking your bears, that is broilers, so that you can make a very good profit from every batch of bears you raise. Welcome to Farmbiz with Markay. In this channel, we show you how to maximize profit in farming through creativity. In this video today, avoiding overstocking your bears for maximum profit, I'll be using myself as a case study because for every batch of bears I raise, I always try to learn something new from it. Because every batch of bears you raise is not always the same. What this gives you might not be the one the next batch is going to give you. Learn from it. It's very, very important. That's what I do. Having research on broiler farming and all of that, I decided to start with 50. I started with 50. The weight was okay, a bit okay by me then. Compared to what I'm getting now, the weight wasn't that okay. Being a beginner, I thought, okay, by 8 weeks, that's when you should dispose your bears. So I raised those bears till 7-8 weeks before disposing them. That's ignorance. But now I dispose my bears by week 5. Now, after raising that bears, discovering the profit I made and what we could get for consumption, I was, wow. So I need to raise a whole lot of bears now so that we can make profit. Having known that poultry farming, especially for broilers, is a game of numbers, I decided to raise about 300 this time. But meanwhile, my pen can comfortably stock about 200 bears. I decided to raise 300. Having done my calculation, okay, by the time I sell so numbers of shooters and all of that, wow, the profit will be massive. I went ahead. Do you know what? I made a whole lot of losses from that batch. At the end, I was begging my buyers to buy my bears. Don't let this happen to you. What did I do wrongly? That's what I'll be sharing with you now. Overstocking. When you overstock, the mortality you are going to experience, your bears are going to die a lot. Because no free flow of air, ammonia built up and all of that, you will experience a whole lot of disease outbreak in your farm. Don't let this happen to you. Now, having learned my lesson from that batch, what I do, I don't overstock. When I look at my pen can comfortably raise 200. I still reduce that number to about 150. Because I don't want to lose any bed. Remember, the cost of one day old chicks today is over 1,000 naira at the time of recording this video. Imagine losing about 20, 30. Do you know how much that is to your profit? So avoid overstocking. How do you know if you overstock? Assuming you just replace your bedding materials, or you just place your bedding materials not up to 2 days, you are already perceiving ammonia build up in your pen. That's a sign of overstocking. Don't let that happen to you. What you do in that case, if you have another pen or you have another cage, kindly move some of those bears to those cages so that these ones here will have a whole lot of space. That free flow of air in your pen is very, very important. Don't overstock. Now you need to know, okay, should you be calculating the space per bed, about 1.5 square feet? That each bed is supposed to take to disposal, should you be calculating it? You may not have that time to be doing those calculations. This is where physical observation comes in. When you look at them, are they panting seriously? Especially when the weather is not that hot, you see them pant. That shows a sign of overstocking. So you need to take quick action to ensure that that problem of overstocking is solved by reducing the number you have in that pen, moving some to some other pen. Now again, if you don't have any other pen planned out for this emergency, you may not be able to do this. What I will advise in this case is to quickly sell your bears as Brooder said. Even at that, overstocking will not make you attain that weight at 3 weeks that you should be able to sell your bears well by that week 3 as Brooder said. No. So what you can also do is to quickly get Brooder said buyers to buy some of them out, so that you have the ones that your pen can comfortably handle, that you can raise till week 5, week 6 before disposal. This is very important. I know the temptation is always there at times. You say, oh, the price of day-old chicks is not very cheap. Oh, instead of 1,000 plus, it's now about 400 naira per broiler chick. You buy, wow, let me buy more. Since this poultry business is a game of number. So instead of talking about 100 or 200 that your pen can comfortably carry, you went ahead and bought and buy about 600, for instance. Okay, maybe you must have calculated, okay, I'm going to raise like, since this my pen can raise 400 till week 3. By week 3, I'm going to sell off 100 or 150 so that I can raise the other one till maturity. You'll be surprised by that week 3, the people to buy your brood and sell might not be available. Especially if you are not already into that line. If you are not already into that brood and sell, raising birds as brood and sell, you might be surprised the people that will come and buy them will not be available. And even if they are available, they know you don't normally raise birds as brood and sell. They will underprice you. At the end, you might be forced to say, okay, let me just sell them off now. At the end, you are bound to make some losses. So don't overstock. Stock based on what you know your pen can carry. That is one. Another great thing some farmers overlook is very easy to buy the old chicks and then place them in your brooder to brood. It's very easy. But feeding them, that's where the problem comes in. Because feed alone takes up to about 70% of your production cost. You'll be buying feed every time. By day 1, they don't normally consume much. By week 2, they started increasing their consumption level. Week 3, wait for them. They will eat a whole lot of feed. If you don't plan ahead for this, setting aside some money for feed and for medication and all of that, at the end, you'll be forced to sell your best out. Don't let that happen to you. Because when I raised 300 birds instead of raising about 150 or 200, I experienced a whole lot of pain because looking at my birds, by week 5, they were as if they are 3 weeks birds. I said, what was happening? What haven't I done right? I used one of the best feed around there, though I don't use that brand of feed anymore. It wasn't giving me the result I wanted. So at the end, by the time I got to week 6, I was like, what is happening? Okay, maybe by the time I got to week 7, the size is going to come up. No way. Because if you missed that week 1 size, because you are supposed to get 4.5 times the arrival weight. If you missed it, you have missed it. Then by week 2 again, you are the weight you are supposed to get. If you have missed it, by that end of week 2 or week 3, just sell off your best and move on. Because for you to get that massive weight by the ending of that week 5, my dear, it will be very, very difficult. So I outside losing some of the best to mortality, I was almost begging my buyers to buy the best off. Definitely I made some loss from that batch of best I raised. It's always important you learn from every batch of best you raise. What I do in my farm, at the end of every batch, I do what is called review. What is this review all about? What works for me in this batch? What didn't work for me in this batch? Comparing this with the last batch I raised, is there something I would have done differently so that this result would have been better? This result would have been better than this. Is there something I would have done? I review all this. What about the medication I use? Is this something better I would have used? So I review all of this. If that's the case, should I do this next time to correct this? You need to be doing this. It's not just, at the end, okay, I've raised my best. I've sold my best. I've made my profit. No. Comparing this with the profit I made, how is it? Is it something I would have done differently to make a better profit from my sales? I review all of this. Don't just raise poultry, sell off your best, because poultry is also a business. That's one thing you need to know. It's also a business, because I have a video up here in my channel on poultry as a business. You don't just raise bears. You've sold off. Let us come and raise another one. No, you need to sit down. Okay, right now I raise 150 bears. I make a profit of about 40,000 for instance. The last time I raised a bears of about the same number, I made a profit of 45,000. What went wrong? Is this something I would have done differently to have made a profit of about 50,000? You need to always review this so that you always improve the profit you make, as well as improve the operations of your farm. Very, very important. If, for instance, the mortality of the best you raise now is, say, out of about 100, you lose about 10, which is somehow bad, very bad. You are not supposed to lose up to that number. The last one you raised, you only lose about 3. What did you do differently that made this number to increase? You need to take note of this. Is it that, okay, there is something you failed to do that lead to this high mortality, or you change vendor or change to a different vendor that led to this mortality, or, okay, you were supposed to pick up your bed by so time, you didn't go, you wasted some time before introducing them to the brooder. Was that what led to the high level of mortality, or was it due to transportation stress that led to this mortality? You need to review this so that you always improve your next batch that you want to raise. The operations of your next batch, you always need to do this so that it will be improved. It's not just, oh, I've raised my best, wow, this is how much I make. No, sit down. Is it something you should have done differently to make a better profit? You need to always review this from batch to batch. So that's why I said every batch of best you raise is not the same. What this batch will teach you is not what the next batch might teach you. Always learn from them. In all, because this is one thing most farmers always fail to do. Tracking diseases on time. Whenever you are feeding your bears, giving your bears water and all of that, don't just overlook their poo. No. Because their poo is going to tell you a whole lot about the health of that bird. Look at their poo. Is it something that requires urgent attention? Or, okay, it's normal. You need to look at it. Very, very important. Just a quick one. At Farmbiz with Markay, we respond to the question you ask whenever you ask us to ask us some questions that if we feel okay, replying your question with text might not give you a proper understanding of the answer, we make a video with that question so that you have a very good understanding of the answer we are providing. And again, if there is any video you want us to make regarding broiler, we'll be so happy to make such video for you so that your farm can grow, so that you can make a better profit from your farm. We'll be so happy to welcome such comment. Thank you so very much. If you find this video helpful, kindly do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification icon, like, comment and share, as this will help us to grow our channel and reach a larger audience. Thank you so very much.